Hey.
So I'll pretend like there's, this background music and then lights, camera, action. Oh,
We are
look,
live.
there is going to be a movie in my city. And the person I went and ate at some food trucks in Oregon City, Oregon, with the person who created that movie. And she has background in television. She worked with NBC, but mom needed her. And we know how that changes everything. So that's the first thing one of the things my husband likes to put up on the screen. I've been calling him my producer because I see people on TV talking about producers, and now I see people on my screen and they really are producers too. So Kathleen, I just met you a few moments ago and you were talking about passion and being there, and when first ideas become something real, and I keep hearing the all hands on deck and we're all helping. Kathleen, how did you wander into, I'm sure it was accidentally, you just wandered into a studio?
Just happenstance. No, yeah. Maybe they won't notice I'm there.
Yeah.
No, there's a group of us that meet to help lift each other up and share stories and things like that. And I've been part of a mutual mentoring group that really has been inspirational for me, and a group, Cindy and Christina Hardenweiss, if you haven't met them. They are the ones who are the hosts of the show. And so whatever they do, I want to help support and be there and lift up as much as possible. And I happen to be down in Florida. And so for me, being in the state is close enough. So I made the drive down to Jacksonville. I have a product in there and wanted to see what goes on and how it all works. I'm intrigued by everything that Tracy's doing, and the attitude of those that have products is not just let's figure out how we can sell, but let's figure out how we can make a difference in the lives of so many others. That for me, it was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And so I was saying, Christine, earlier that being there was an honor and a privilege, but I saw a lot of things and experienced a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity. But there's lots of things that you will see, because it will make the cut and make the show. But the things that you don't see are equally as important, and especially as having a product there, to see the care that was taken by the executive producer Janice and even the crew at the studio that were doing things. They were making sure that the scenes were right, their views were right. It was just really impressive, as I mentioned, that the care, the compassion, the desire to really make a world-class program so that it can have a positive impact in the lives of others, is inspiring.
Oh, Mary is greeting all three of you. There's another person. I won't do it right now, but it's like, Mary, you're going to be on my show for sure, because you make those healthy things happen by working on actually bringing people into care and health and all that goes on in any age, in any life. I'm about aging well, aging informed, and getting you said product and we've said show. So I'm just going to say, and there is, oh my gracious, hi Mike. Where's my hat? Oh, I've got a whole drawer full of hats here. I might just keep putting on different hats. I never know what I'm going to do. I mean, this morning I'm like, what am I going to say? Oh, probably a lot. I think the most important thing right now is, Tracy, instead of just show and we were there in studio and product. What is the big secret and when does everybody get a hold of it?
Well, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I caught you at a bad time here. It's like hydrate.
For real. I don't know what
I
happened.
know it's not a secret.
just-
You're not trying to keep this a secret. I know that. Okay, I'll stop.
That was one. So
Hey,
I apologize. So the show is actually going to be coming out on October 30th. So that is really super exciting. We are very, very excited. I am super excited for the coming month. I have 3 national interviews confirmed. I'm going on 3 national shows. 2 of them are going to be on NBC. Bloom on NBC, which is a nationally syndicated TV show. Daytime, which is on NBC, which again is a nationally syndicated TV show. And then I am flying to Washington, D.C. on October 16th. And I am going to be on Good Morning Washington, which is Good Morning Washington, D.C. And that is the 7th largest media outlet in the country. And I am going to be able to be interviewed on all of those shows. And it's going to be it's going to be solely about safe and sound and promoting Caregiving Worldwide Network. So super stoked. We're also going to have press releases coming out. So global press releases. So I am just beyond super excited about everything that's coming.
Oh, you are showing up live. Are you going to be on screen for any of these interviews?
I'm going to be in studio in all of them. I'm going to be in studio for every single one of those interviews that I'm.
Good.
But the Bloom and Daytime actually film here in Tampa. So I'm actually filming in studio with them here. And then I'm flying to DC and I'm going to be in studio with them in DC to do the interviews there. They're shooting the interview in DC on the 17th. And then, like I say, the show will air a little bit later. All that'll be coming out in my social media when it all starts coming out. So everybody will be able to watch them and everything, but we're getting actually into the national markets. So that's just beyond super exciting for everybody.
Oh my goodness. And I'm still missing it. What, help us, Janice. What is it that's coming out? We know what it is because we talked before we started this morning. What is coming out on October 30th that was live in studio? What's it called?
Well, thanks for keeping the mystery going along for about 10 minutes. Tracy is the CEO of a brand new network called Caregiving Worldwide. She demonstrated great growth with her show called Caregiving Worldwide, and the studio offered her a network. The first show that she launched from her network is a show called Safe and Sound: Adaptive Concepts for Vibrant Living. This show is being hosted by Christina and Cindy Harden-Weiss, of which Kathleen and I are in their marketing support group for our products. So everybody in it has a product that was invented by these dynamic women, and because they saw a need. And so I always joke around, like, I sell a pillowcase. Towsy is granted the most comfortable pillowcase in the world. And Kathleen sells a mobility towel, which is a weighted towel that can help somebody maintain dignity when they're drying themselves off after a shower. And so what Tracy did was she had the inspiration to create a show bringing these products to air so caregivers can say, okay, what can I look at? What can I purchase? And a QR code will be up on the screen during the segments. So this way, caregivers can say, oh, this would be perfect for my mother. This would be perfect for the person I'm caring for, and order it right then and there and get a tremendous discount. So Tracy's all about, how do we not bankrupt a caregiver? How do we make sure caregivers have the resources, that caregivers have the knowledge and the education of, and then because the show is Christina and Cindy's beautiful, they have a great following on TikTok with adaptive equipment and caregiving corner. They also do hacks, life hacks. So if you don't have the weighted towel or you don't have a towel seat, could you come up with something else? Kathleen and I would argue probably not, but but I have to say, we try to give us a little bit of run for our money.
Hey,
And
you worked hard putting this together. It wasn't good enough for you the first 6 times. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
the reality is that Safe and Sound, what's amazing for me and incredible for me is that Safe and Sound just was honestly an idea. 4 months ago, it was just an idea, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be able to do something like this? And basically for caregivers, just to have like a one-stop shop that really was truly a one-stop shop where they could find anything and everything, and have a show and have a website married together that would just work cohesively together. And, honestly, like we were saying before we came on the show, when we got in studio the first day, we just had kind of a powwow planning session, and God love Janice. She just took the bull by the horns and was like, okay, this is what we need to try to figure out. And we made a plan with the producers of the show. Janice was all in that. She absolutely did miraculous things because we were basically creating the wheel. This was something that we had never done before, really, any of us. Like I say, we actually were very lucky and very blessed that there was somebody there at the studio that had knowledge of this type of show previously and really gave us a lot of insight and help as well. So we were able to put it together in an even better way, in a bigger, better way. And like I say, Janice was invaluable. I mean, her expertise formerly in the TV world and doing things that she did, she just really kind of led the charge, and we all just kind of fell behind in line and we're like, okay, whatever you need.
Tracy's being nice. Can I just say, Tracy, I just said to Tracy before we went in, I said, okay, if you want me to do this, can you please just let me run the show? And I said, just defer to me if that's okay. I've run a lot of different sets before, and Tracy was just like, absolutely. And so then Tracy was, no ego was part of this whole thing. Tracy was, would be a production assistant on the set and run and do lots of different tasks. Kathleen wound up starting out as a production assistant, went to set dresser, went to, we all had so many hats. When you talk about Mike Asherbronner, who's in the comments, and some of our great hounds are in the comments, that Mike started Hounds of Business Community, and Christine, kudos to your hat. We all wore the multiple hats that Mike has inspired us to continue to wear. And no one's ego was too big because we all had the vision of this show. We all kept our caregivers in mind. How do we create something in 3 days, 3 episodes, unheard of? So 9 products, 6 life hacks, and create a house, that feels like Christina and Cindy's home would be. So we had to be on brand for them. We had to be on brand for Tracy. We had to be on brand for the products. And so really creating and honoring, as Kathleen was saying, each product was forefront as well as caring for the caregiver. And we all shared that vision.
Each one of those, I'm going to call them inventors. Would that be a correct title? These are inventors who said, it's got to be better. I know Janice's story, a bit of it. I am going to learn more of it because Janice lives right up there, just a little ways away. And she's going to come down to my teeny town of Independence, which is just getting bigger because I'll be housing 8 different inventors, people who started one way and turned a corner because they were like, this is unacceptable. There has got to be something better. And that's the way I felt when people hired me, when companies hired me and sent me into homes where I didn't just meet my client, a person maybe in their 80s or even in their hundreds, who I could be of assistance to, but I met their families, their neighbors, the people dropping off Meals on Wheels, their physical therapist, their nutritionist. And everyone would turn to me and go, "Do you know a better way? Is there a thing that could help with this? I'm concerned about safety. I'm wondering if, I mean, my back is going out trying to keep someone's," and I was like, I saw something at another house. I think there's a store where you can get things. That's all I had a decade ago. Not anymore. We have caregiving worldwide. We have Safe and Sound coming out on October 30th. Kathleen, can you name off 3 of the different ways that people can view this new show that shows you? Can you name 3 of them? I know I think I've got 3 in my mind.
Yes,
Give it
and
a try.
if I don't, then I want Janice and Tracy to
I was going to say,
chime
if she
in.
misses any, I can chime in.
Yeah.
And help.
You could
So-
go ding 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 ding.
It's going to be streamed. I think Roku, Fire TV, all of those. You can also go to the RHS website. You'll always be able to find them there. And then Tracy, if you can give me the
Sure. So it's always, as far as on TV, it's going to be always streaming on the RHS TV channel. So you can go to the RHS TV app. There's an RHS TV app that you can download for free on Google or Android. There's also, you can go to rhstv.com, or you can go to Roku, Hulu, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can add the RHS TV channel on any of those, and you will find the whole Caregiving Worldwide network. You'll find Caregiving Worldwide, the TV show, and you will find Safe and Sound, the TV show. And you will find all of our new TV shows that are going to be coming out. So you will be able to find it on all of those platforms. And just so that everybody knows, we are now in talks with 2 more platforms to be launching the network on 2 more platforms. We're not announcing that yet as far as what they are, but we are going to be getting 2 more platforms that are not going to be in TV. So it's going to expand our audience even further. So it's going to be even bigger and better for everyone. So I am super, super excited. We got a lot going on, but it's like I told Kathleen, it's beautiful chaos, but that's
Oh
okay.
my goodness. For people watching this in replay, I'm just going to point right there. So that is a covered bridge. There's several of them in Oregon. That covered bridge is either where my dad's parents, either he proposed there or it was their first date and he was playing a concertina to woo Grandma Josefina. So I'm pointing to that because it's red, and RHS is red. Red House streaming. And streaming is one of those things that I'm learning about even in these last 2 or 3 years. It means it's always there available for you. You can just pop right in and see it. So it's like, oh, I missed the episode on something I really need. No. You can go and get it. So I heard a whole bunch of things: Roku, Hulu, RHS, Amazon Fire,
yep,
Google TV, Apple TV,
and Apple TV. Yep.
So far, and then 2 more coming. Oh my gracious!
I'm trying to drop it into the feed so people can have it.
Good.
Yes,
And then my producer, my hubby producer,
okay, and
D. Scott Smith,
Jody
motivational
Lamb
listener.
Jody Lamb is asking the name of the app to download, and I'm going to tell her that as well. The name of the app to download is RHS TV. It's that's the name of the app. It's the RHS TV app. It's free, completely free. You can download it in is the app. It's completely free. You can download it in Apple if you have an Apple phone, or you can download it if you have an Android phone or tablet, whatever you have. You can just download it that way. It's completely free, and you can be able to see all the episodes completely for free. The beautiful thing about streaming that I love is that the episodes stay on there for forever. People can see them, worldwide at any time. So, if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, in Europe, they can still see the episodes, and they're still going to be. The beautiful thing about Safe and Sound is that they're going to be able to buy the products at any day or any time. So it doesn't have to be certain time zones, that they can buy or not buy. They're going to be able to buy any product at any time. I do want to go ahead and announce just really quick, we are still taking companies that would like to be on the Safe and Sound website. If you didn't get a chance to get on the show, but you would like to take advantage of the traction that is going to be coming to the website as well, then just message me or let me know, and we will get an email sent out to you. All the companies that were on the show, obviously, they automatically are getting put on the website for free. But if you would like to be on the Safe and Sound website and be able to take advantage of the traction on that, we are going to have everything on that website. I want caregiver books. I want caregiver plans, because I know several people that have come up with caregiver, plans that people can do. Anything that can help a caregiver, we are going to allow on that website. So if you are interested in that, you have something like that, you would like to get it on the website and be able to take advantage of that, I can get the email sent to you. Just let me know that you're interested in that, and we can have the email sent to you with all the information about that.
And also, we are looking for products for season 2, because we're starting to cultivate those, and we will be having season 2, season 3. We're really right now that it's a limited series, but it's a limited series that's going to keep going forward. So I have to say, I'm pretty proud of the small little marketing group that Christina and Cindy Harden-Weiss, our hosts of the show, started, because everybody in that little group is part of season 1. That just shows how much faith we have in Christina and Cindy. And when Kathleen says, when they say jump, we jump. Same with Tracy. When Tracy says, Janice, can you do this? I'm like, yes. And I don't know what I'm getting into. And
I want to give. I'm sorry to interrupt. Just real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to Mike King. He has the ESPN Richmond, Virginia radio show, and he has popped in really quick in the comments.
Nice,
I just want to say thank you, Mike, for popping in. We really appreciate your support. We're a sponsor on his ESPN radio show that he's giving to some of the hounds, and he has been kind enough to let us do that. So thank you so much, Mike. We really, really, really appreciate you. Go ahead, Janice. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I think that's great. So, Mike, if you have a product that we want to get onto Safe and Sound and show on ESPN, seriously, let's talk. It's really for this small little marketing group. We had Functional Hands. Kathleen, let's go through that little group. So, Functional Hands. We had Easy Hold. We have obviously Mobility Towel and Towsy. We had
original AFO.
Yeah.
Yes.
The original AFO.
And we had Joe and Bella. They're not part of that group, but they have adaptive clothing. We had models, live models for that. And also with Mirador Magazine, I produced and directed their Mirador TV, which is in editing right now. And that is going to be a wonderful show that will, I don't know, Tracy, can we share anything about that show?
Yeah, we can share about, we can, because I just signed the agreement. So one of the companies that we are in the process of working with is Sociavi. Most people in the caregiver space know Paula Mueller, And so she is in the process of, she has a fantastic product for people in the Alzheimer's, yay, that's Mirador, Alzheimer's dementia space. And so we're in the process of final talks with Sociavi to not only get Mirador's TV show on Sociavi, but we're actually talking about getting the entire Caregiving Worldwide Network on there, which would mean Safe and Sound and all the others. So that's just going to be another piece to the puzzle. So there's a lot of moving pieces right now, a lot of beautiful things happening. I'm so excited just because of the fact that we're just going to put so many fantastic products in so many people's hands. And it's just been so needed for so very, very long. And I love the fact that we're going to be able to keep doing education and, you know, really being able to educate people on so many different things that definitely needs to be educated on, you know, no matter whether it's hospice or palliative care or advanced directives, or, I mean, there's a million different Medicare, Medicaid. I mean, there's a million different subjects that people need education on, and there's a lack of education. And so knowing that they can come to a place and be happy that they actually have been able to find some answers for that, and also be able to find products and services that can actually help them on those journeys so they don't have to feel alone, is just a completely beautiful thing for me.
All right. I'm putting on the hat. Actually, we're beaver fans. A lot of people think about the ducks in Oregon. We happen to be beaver fans. I don't have to put any of you off because my daughter married a duck fan. And so but I happen to have this one because I put my husband through school, so I get to wear the beaver cap. I'm a graduate because he graduated. I'm just going to go through these names of people that are wishing you well, making sure that we've responded, because I always say we'll respond to you in real time. So Mary Halilovic was saying hello. Mike Ashebriner with hats has been a I guess a proponent for you. He's promoted you. He has cheered you on. And that's what I see in that LinkedIn community that you've talked about that has just been so important for you, Tracy. I think before we even came on live, you were saying, you know, LinkedIn, you were talking about Paula Muller and
LinkedIn has just been, LinkedIn has been gold for me. I mean, honestly, LinkedIn is what introduced me to Janice. LinkedIn is what introduced me to the Hounds of Business community. You know, Mike Ashebriner, he and I connected probably well over a year ago before he even had his Hounds of Business community. And I got in with that initially. I'm one of the initial few people that were in with him on that. And it's an amazing community of wonderfully supportive people. I've been able to utilize a ton of the Hounds working with me, you know,
Yes.
Sia and Raquel and Janice and Mike, and it's just been amazing. They've all been able to jump on board with me and help me lift all this up to help so many other people. So I love LinkedIn. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
Tracy,
I heard
the Hounds.
Yeah,
the
go
Hounds
ahead.
has a show tonight at 4:00. So I want to do a plug for. So if anybody wants to know what the Hounds are, it's a nice close knit networking group of divergent experience and backgrounds of highly motivated people to further their careers and help each other. And so just join us on Mike Ashebraner's LinkedIn. Go to his page and you'll see it. So
fantastic. PM Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, there you go. Our Pacific Coast. Oh my gosh, you and I with our time zones issues.
I know. I had a guest on from Hawaii, and I'm like, I've been to Hawaii. I don't know how anyone gets anything done there because it's like the East Coast is asleep. You know, by the time they're really rocking and rolling, and then it's so beautiful, and it's just, you know, I just think, wow. But she was quite the go-getter a few weeks ago. Speaking of guests on this show, which is every Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, you click on my face, you find me on LinkedIn, you can get there, or you can get to it through Aging Better Network. Al Lyman, who understands that when you put Gero in front of something, it's not pronounced hero. This isn't Greek food. This is Gero means something different. It's the study of aging, but the products that you are presenting are saving the dignity, saving the bodies, saving the sanity, saving the feelings of people all different ages, whether you are caring for someone much younger, whether you are providing dignity for someone who's your age and you want that for them. Let's get through the hygiene stuff and get to the fun stuff of the day. And I know what that was like as a caregiver, walking into a home, invading and wanting to just go, you know what? I'm here to restore humanity, not turn you into a petri dish experiment or take away your humanity. I know there was another, Rochelle Prosser, who is a registered nurse, says, "Hi, Tracy. Thank you for inviting me. Oh, I'm so grateful for you. I wonder if she should be on my show." Just putting out.
Rochelle,
And Jody
Rochelle,
Lamb.
Yeah, Rochelle is wonderful. Hi, Rochelle. I met her at a healthcare conference recently here in Tampa, and she is a really great lady. Is doing a lot of amazing work. So yes, I would highly recommend her being on your show.
Good. And Jody Lamb, I've been noticing Jody.
People in the healthcare space, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's fun being able to do all of this. I mean, we had a great time on the set at Safe and Sound. It was a lot of hard work, and it was a lot of, okay, what are we gonna, how are we gonna figure this out? Because like I said to you before we came on, honestly, we wanted to be able to make it the best. Everybody's mission was to make it the best show possible, so that every single product that was on there was highlighted in the best possible way. I knew I was going to be taking it to the national news, and I knew I wanted to be able to, when that happened, for people to really be able to see the best of what all of these products had to offer, because they are so very unique. There's a ton of medical supply companies, that offer, all the normal accoutrements, and it's really cool to be able to have really unique offerings like Towel-C or Mobility Towel, that are just completely different, and but that people need, and people don't realize that they need them.
Tracy, I want to share a little bit of behind the scenes from our Safe and Sound show, because Tracy, Kathleen, and can attest to this, and our audience might get a kick out of it. Here's the things that we did not expect. We did not expect green screen, which is, we were creating these homes, like in the kitchen, in the living room, in the bathroom. When you're on one set, you're kind of limited. So, and then all of a sudden products would have green on their packaging. And oh my goodness, and if anybody knows about green screen, it creates it keys out. That's right. Kathleen, did you get that technical term?
Yeah, that was like a chrome something key. Yeah. Keyed out.
Yeah. And it would stop production, and it'd be like, okay, there's green. So we would all scramble to figure out ways to creatively cover the green so we could continue to shoot, and our audience would not see any disruption or any confusion. And the production quality of Beth Weber and Carl, what's his last name, Tracy? What's Carl's last name?
Carl Prentice.
Thank you. Carl was bar none some of the best production value I've seen. And I worked with, Portlandia, Grimm, like all of the top shows that were produced here in Oregon, and Librarians. And their attention to detail was absolutely priceless, because they were not, let's just get it done.
Right.
It's, let's get it done right. Let's get it done well. And let's do it how many times we have to do it to make sure it is done beautifully. So, yeah.
I was going to segue.
The beautiful the beautiful thing too, and then Kathleen, definitely say what you need to say, is that they're creating for me what they call sizzle reels for Safe and Sound, the show. And so when I go to these national interviews, I'm going to actually have a sizzle reel for Safe and Sound that I'm going to actually be able to show, which is really, really super cool. So we're going to actually have a sizzle reel, so they're going to be able to see a little piece of what we're doing. So I'm so beyond excited. Go ahead, Kathleen. I'm sorry.
I was going to piggybacking on what you said just a little bit earlier. Another behind the scenes thing was nice. It's been nice to spend time with Christina and Cindy, not just because they're great hosts, but they know their products. And I think what's unique about at least the products that we've had so far, they've all been created by either therapists or caregivers themselves who have been in it. And I know Janice's story was she created Tausi because of her dad. I created Mobility Towel because of my mom, Kay, which is now the name of my company, Kay Inspired. And I think that makes a difference because we're all just trying to find a way to make life easier for those that we love.
Yeah, we don't want this to just die with us. You finally figured out a way, and if only I can't imagine the number of innovations and inventions and life hacks, and I'll just say that thing that at least worked for a while. Perhaps your loved one was dealing with cognitive decline and it worked for a while, and you just wish you could put it up and neon lights pointing, going, hey, use this idea. At least you will be able to take care of yourself and get a few moments to just rehumanize if you just use what out of desperation I came up with this idea, or I found this book and everyone should have it. If you've heard this diagnosis, if you're dealing with I feel like I'm not going to be able to physically help my person as they are less and less able to mobilize, and I'm distraught. I feel like I'm not a good enough daughter, husband, whatever. And then it's like, here's this thing that makes it possible. And at least for this week, or maybe for a longer amount of time, I am still able to show my love to a person who just needs to outsource some of what they used to do on their own. And I'm here and I'm willing, So what you're doing isn't just saving family caregivers. So, one person, perhaps more. I know one person who is actually providing assistance for 3 of their family members in their home right now. It's for people who are thinking, can I do this job? Can I keep doing this job? And to have an administrator say, everybody gets these now. It's better than the gate belts we've been using for 55 years. Everybody gets and everyone's dancing in the street. We've got a better shower head, whatever it is, and what a great way to tell your employees, I've been looking for ways to help you to do what you already want to do and help you to want to continue in your job. I just get excited about all of it. Hey, Mike Asherbringer was talking about his 11-year-old. And I was thinking, what you're doing, putting it on TV means it's going to be there for someone to grab on. I'll make up a name for a platform that all the 11-year-olds are going to be looking at. And the name of the platform is like Fuzzy Frizzy, Okay, so Fuzzy Frizzy is like, oh, did you see that thing that you can help your grandparent with on Fuzzy Frizzy? Or, you've got a brother or sister who uses an electric scooter. And did you see on Fuzzy Frizzy, that they can do such and such? Let's do that for your brother's scooter for his birthday. I mean, this is going to be in the future, that younger and younger people are going to be empowered, informed. They're going to be the ones who turns to someone else and goes, you know what, there's actually a better way to do that. And I will show it to you right here on my device. So what you're doing, I'm just telling you, your future is people are going to be like, you know, that lady Tracy, you know, like clear back in the 2020s when she started something that nobody had before. Yeah, it's so cool because
well, the whole goal is that honestly, and it doesn't have to be just about seniors. A lot of it has to do about honestly just wanting to age in place at home and wanting to be comfortable aging in place at home. There's a lot of people, they don't want to go to facilities, they want to stay home. They want to take care of themselves. They want products and services that can help them take care of themselves. There's even special needs children, that literally start from the age of 2 weeks old all the way up to a 105-year-old grandmother and everybody in between. I mean, there's an enormous amount of people that need help. And I think my goal too is that on the website, we can I plan on having eventually AI drive the back end so that eventually people can go in there and they can say, you know what, my mom has Parkinson's. Pull me up all the products that can help me with Parkinson's. Or my mom has Alzheimer's. Show me all the different products and services that can help me with Alzheimer's. So that way it's going to make it to where they don't have to know what products and services can help them. The website will actually be able to tell them, because the reality is you can't Google what you don't know exists. So it makes it to where you can't Google what you don't know exists. And there's
Janice, we have to know what we want to ask. We have to know what questions to even ask.
Exactly.
Janice, you were bursting.
That's always the challenge. And I think what Tracy's doing is she's pretty humble. And also she does not have an ego attached to all of this. She is, she could have put herself as the host for all of these shows. And she's just like, no, let me take a step back. Let me let other people shine. Let me let products shine. Let me let Christina and Cindy Harden-Weiss shine. And it's not the Tracy Lamb show. It is Tracy is so driven by this need to help other caregivers because she is currently and has been in that role. And I think once like I see Steve Berger here. We've connected a couple times, and he is in the goal of creating a product to help people safely age in their home. Everybody who is in this world recognizing that we have an aging population. The time is not wait and see. The time is like, what can we do now to bring resources to people who are aging? How do we help people stay in their homes longer? Because there's not enough facilities in this world to house all of our aging population. So what are we going to do? Tracy has a solution to that problem. And Tracy's solution is hitting them in a media conglomerate. It is not just, a show. It's multiple shows. It's a website. The AI is brilliant. And while Kathleen and I are humbly like, we have a towel, we have a pillowcase. But I'm going to praise us too. Like we're kick-ass, like patented women. And then Christine, in our corner of the Pacific Northwest, you're like, let's have a big conference. Let's bring people together to recognize that there's a problem. So I want to applaud everybody in the audience and everybody on screen for what you're doing. And listening into this on your Wednesday and saying, how do we, it is Wednesday, right?
It is.
How do we,
what day am I?
work together and how do we further this big challenge that is in front of us in our own way? And I see Ryan's on there. So yes, thank you, Ryan, for being here. We just are all doing what we can. So thank you, everybody, for being part of this. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm wrapping it up, and I mean to, but I'm inspired by everybody.
Your timing is actually perfect. I want to make sure that Nicole, I'm going to say Anje Galino, and then they can they can pronounce their name much more correctly than I can in every situation. I'm Christine Smith, so, I don't have any background on being able to pronounce, although I had a Czechoslovakian last name before Smith. So she is, well-wishing, I've been throwing hats on and off because of Mike, because he's got a hat on in his most of the time, I think. I don't know that people would recognize Mike Asherbrainer without a hat on. Has he ever showed up without a hat on camera? But he said that Sia, who is also another supporter.
Yes.
I'm looking back. Who did he say? Sia and
Raquel.
Rocky is on their phone, so not everybody can jump in with their names, but he made sure that their names came in too. And then you were talking about Steve Berger. It's just, you know what? Thank you for thanking me, because you put out probably last night, Janice, I did something new. That means that I'm not well practiced. I'm not the expert, and I'm doing something new. And that's what Kathleen did. She's like, I'm, I didn't descend from, Egyptian towel makers or whatever. I just said, there's got to be something better. What can help? So I'm going to use the word co-petitor. So co-petitors, there's enough people who are having needs because of their own physical or cognitive or condition. There's enough people who care about them and need to take a break or have something come more easily, or know that they've just done that job really well for that person that they value. So co-petitors are people who could say, no, everyone buy my product, or sign up for my service, or take my course, or only read my books. But most of the people who have started in this are like, how can I get the word out? How can I help other people? How can I know that what I've experienced or what is important to someone else that I've just applauded, how can I make sure that more people have it good? Because, hey, I'm aging. I want people to be really good at caring for me, or making things accessible for me, because it isn't just what am I losing, it's how I still am going to live into my longevity. So the more Kathleen inventions that come out, the more Tausies, the more Tracy's who say, I'm going to put it there so that no one can miss, and no one can say, that's been out for a decade. Why didn't I ever hear about it?
I know. I hate that when people come to me and they find out what we do, and they're like, why didn't I hear about you 6 months ago, a year ago, when I was taking care of my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, whatever it may be. And, the reality is that that's why everybody asks me, how do I keep going? It's just, there's no way I can't keep going. I love helping people. I have such a huge passion for being able to help all these people. There's so many phenomenal products. I just love my job just because I get to find out the stories behind why everybody created what they created. I think it's phenomenal for me because I talk to every CEO I work with. They all have to go through me. And so I talk to every single one of them and I find out exactly why they do what they do. And, the reality is that there is just literally millions of products out there that can help people. I mean, it's insanity. I mean, I've talked to companies
Tracy,
from the world.
I want to say one thing though. For Safe and Sound, what you've done is you allow the standard of Cindy and Christina, Hardin White, or host, to say, does this pass our test? So to get on the show, you have to have your product vetted by them, which makes the show unique. It's not just a marketplace for products, because every dog and his daddy then would just invent like the new kind of pet rock and be like, oh, this can help somebody be calm. Well, not unless Christina and Cindy say it can. And these women have over 30 years of experience, and they put Tausi to the test. And I was a little like, and I just met them, and I was like sending them my baby, and I was like, what are they gonna say? But they really they take their recommendations so seriously because their name is attached to it. And that's what Tracy is allowing. It's like, we had to turn away people, and it's not about just building like a program with multiple objects on it. It had to be past the test. So there was a whole other level that went on in those couple of months that we had to lead up to actually taping the show, and then Christina and Cindy are such professionals that they wrote a script for each one of the products to make sure that they hit and aligned with what the brand wanted to have conveyed. So nothing was off the cuff. Everything was just really well tuned.
Awesome. Cherian Jacob is saying that he is planning to release a consumer version of Care Genie. I think I know he was on my show. I think that up until now it was more senior living villages, and now he's looking at, you know, aging in place, or I'm just going to say living in place, because what age are you when you're aging? You know, it's all the way through, you know, knowing and aiming for a future of independence. And I don't know, some of the things that are taken for granted, and then suddenly it's questionable, how independent can you be? So grateful for him chiming in today. Ryan Hurd is on, and he says, I am so proud to see how far the Caregiving Worldwide Network has come. Kudos for all of your hard work, Tracy Lamb. So she can't hide behind anything anymore, because all this is just, you know, we're championing each other, co-competitors. It sounds more like, come on, everybody, let's link arms and go across the finish line again and again and again. And if someone's tired, you know, hand them some more Gatorade and let's keep going. You guys are all tired. You did not have time to do what you're doing today. Thank you so much. I'm going to say very quickly, oh, and hi to Cindy Barassi. She was in an event yesterday, and competitors referred to as peers, not competitors. There's more than enough need and abundance to go around. Yes, there is.
Cindy is amazing. Cindy is amazing. I know her. I work with her, and I'm actually doing another Zoom with her tomorrow. So yes, we are going to be doing some amazing things together. So stay tuned.
Oh, Cindy, I'm so glad. Okay, I've written 2 books. I'm having an in-person event right here on the street where I live. I feel like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Or something like that. So you can look at agingbetternetwork.com. You can find replays of this at agingbetternetwork.com/live. And it would be a replay of this and the other times that Janice has been on. And when Tracy was on long ago, when she was talking about and dreaming about this, and she was on her way to Roanoke, Virginia for the Care Colloquium. I am shouting out right now to Kimberly Wider. Kimberly, look what you've done. Because you said, let's have a bunch of people come in person and online, and let's just talk about this and help each other and get networking and figure out what is business. I've been this and I've been that, but how do you get it out to people? Because what I just made is making a difference, and it's making a difference I didn't even expect, you know, with somebody else in another situation, and everybody's so happy. So convergence-experience.com. That's convergence coming together. It's an experience because I've built in a lot of time for people to meet each other, you know, the at-home caregiver meeting the person who works in the health area meeting the person who owns a care community, meeting the person who says, I'm going to graduate from high school, because I have invited teenagers to come and rub shoulders with people who maybe have a couple of decades of experience and bring their perspective, and to feel like if they're teens who are caring for someone, you are not alone and you have better stuff coming your way. You're not left out of this. It's not just for people who are in their 60s. So you've got my stuff. It is Kathleen's turn. Kathleen, you created a product. Dignity is a big deal. It is to me. And yes, what did you invent? How do we get a hold of you? How do we find you again?
So I created what I call the mobility towel for my mom, who had difficulty drying herself after she got out of the shower. She asked me one day to help me dry her off after she got out of the shower, which I would have done anything for my mom, but couldn't imagine having to have somebody do that for me. And so I created mobility towels so she could do it for herself. If anybody's interested, if you visit mobilitytowel.com, you can find the story of Kay Inspired, how the company came to be, but also if you're interested in the product. But I thank you for today. This has been inspiring, just being in this group. I appreciate this so much.
Good. Tracy, you have to jump off because you're too busy. No, you are busy doing too many things. No, you are delegating and you're discovering and you're making life better for the whole world. Tracy, how can we get a hold of you? How can we see you?
Sure. Probably the easiest way to get a hold of me is you can DM me on LinkedIn. I'm all over LinkedIn. I have a phenomenal social media group, Brilliant Beam Media, that has Mike Asherbranner and Sia and Raquel, and they're all completely awesome. Oh, and Nicole, I could not forget Nicole. Nicole is awesome. She's amazing. All of them helped me tremendously. Kelly Wagner, who couldn't be on this call, her and her team helped me with marketing. So I want to give a shout out to them as well. Kelly and her team Kelly and Morgan, her daughter, were actually at the studio as well. They couldn't be on this call today, but I just wanted to give a shout out to them because they were completely amazing as well and jumped right in. I just want to give a personal shout out to Janice again, just because she was completely amazing and she's beyond ridiculous, and I'm beyond blessed to have her in my life. But if either DM me through LinkedIn, or you can email me at Tracy, TRACI@caregivingworldwide.com. And I will be more than happy to help you with anything that you need, or me or my team. I do have a team now because it's become a little bit of too big of a crazy, but I love it. It's a beautiful crazy, and I'm loving every minute of it. But thank you so much for having me. It's been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for everybody that has been in the comments, for showing up. And I greatly appreciate you all, but I really do have to go.
Right. Janice, you're going to finish us out. Bye. Thank you, Tracy.
Bye.
Bye, Tracy. Thank you. And thank you, Christine, for pulling this together. I guess Kathleen has eloquently said, creating something inspired by her mom. I created Tausi inspired for my dad to keep his head and neck in place while falling asleep in a geriatric chair, which caused him to slump over. And Tausi gives you that dignity and mitigates neck pain. Christine, when you have these kinds of platforms that allow people like us to come on, who doesn't have, we don't have the deep pockets of marketing dollars to say, look at us, this is invaluable. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate being a guest speaker at your Convergence experience. And I'm so excited to be there on, it's going to be Sunday, October 8th that I'm speaking at 9 a.m. And that'll just be another opportunity to talk about Safe and Sound, talk about products like Mobility Towel, and tell people in Oregon that when, as caregivers, you sometimes feel like you're alone. And people like you, as a geriopreneur, as Aging Better Network, we are not alone. We're all, as somebody in the comments said, I think it was Michelle, I know we have to link arms, and getting through life together is so much better than trying to do it on your own. So thank you for having me. I'm going to TausiBrands.com.
Oh, there we go. Tausi is Tausi. Tausi. And this is, the people that are on the screen right now, with one exception, are all Oregonians. Yes, they travel across the nation and actually across the water in Janice's situation. So they live and work in different spots, but they land in Oregon. And I wanted to do the in-person event partly because my hubby producer, D. Scott Smith, motivational listener, who has his own show 2 hours before mine on Wednesdays called The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. He said, "You love going to conferences, you should make one." And I was discouraged to find out that Oregon rated on the AARP scale number 50 out of 50 for people who wanted to remain in the state. It was based on a moving company's statistics. But they put it in the AARP paper. So the whole nation thinks, well, whatever you do, don't land in Oregon because you'll just want to move away as soon as you get to retirement age. And I was like, well, we have nowhere to go but up. So I'm going to find some Oregonians who have solutions, services. They have stories of why they are at the point that they are. And they also have support. They provide support for geriatric businesses, for people who feel alone in caring for someone who says, I just found out that I have a form of dementia. What's next? So we have it here in Oregon, and this is proof that all the people on the screen are Oregonians, with the exception of one who said, but I'm here a lot because I have a lot of relatives here. Can't I talk to? Yes, you can, Angie Gray. So I am so grateful that people are coming to Independence for my very first convergence, a coming together of people who are all saying, hey, aging, there is a solution and an encouragement, and apparently there's an app for that. What was that app again? RHS TV? Is that it? That's simple. Yeah. That's simple. Okay, October 30th, my son turns 21, and I get to celebrate by popping into one of those live streaming spots and going, there she is. There's Tracy. Up is Janice on screen. Oh, I see Mirador in the basket in the background. So if people want to know more about Mirador, I will simply tell you that Tave and Nikki are also Oregonians. So this is a great place to age. And I guess I'm just trying to prove it. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Janice. And
You're
my
welcome.
thank yous to Tracy for all that you all are doing. And thanks for being brave and coming on to my show today. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.